Hey Steve, it's Thursday and Christ is risen. Well, it's officially too hot to record any videos outside, so I'm in here in the air conditioning, although it's also still very hot in here too. I can't believe that it's been 3 weeks since Pascha. It seems like just yesterday that we were celebrating the joy of the resurrection. At our house, we're still holding on to that joy and we're singing Christ is risen every opportunity that we get. Anyway, let's get to it. Question 1, what struggle or difficulty have I been carrying for what feels like forever? There are a lot of burdens that I've been carrying around forever, but I think that one of the biggest things is procrastination. Lately, I've realized how much I put off making decisions or dealing with things that somehow stress me out. It might even be something as simple as deciding what I want for dinner at a restaurant. I'm that guy at the table that always says, "Can you come back to me?" Or it might be something important, like doing taxes. I'll wait until the last minute. Tax day was on the 17th. I filed on the 16th. And sometimes this tendency can drive the people around me crazy. I might even actually end up deferring to somebody else to make a decision. It's maddening for me and for everybody else. So why does this happen? Good question, me from the immediate past. It happens because I'm so sensitive to anything disrupting my inner peace that I'd rather just ignore it. But this isn't real peace. It's avoidance. And it's only by having courage, by trusting in Christ, that I can find any kind of healing. Question 2, what am I tempted to put my trust in instead of Christ? I think a lot of the way that I've managed to deal with the stress of making decisions is by distracting myself. And a lot of what I turn to is entertainment. I'm realizing that by doing fun things, I tend to focus on the good things instead of the necessary things. I'll ignore the fact that I have to get up early for work or to go to the gym, and so I'll stay up late reading or watching TV or whatever. When I have things that I actually need to do and I'm getting stressed out, I tend to direct my focus to the things that will make me feel like I'm having fun, but that are ultimately less needful. So I guess I tend to put my trust in entertainment. I turn to TV or books or hanging out with friends. All of these things help me focus elsewhere. Now, I'm not saying that these things are bad in and of themselves, but rather, they're not really ways of dealing with my problems courageously. They're ways of avoiding them. Rather than leaning on the Lord and asking Him for courage and strength to deal with reality, I tend to avoid it by entertaining myself. Lately, I've been trying to be better about this, though. Knowing my tendency to distract myself, I've been trying to make a list of all the things that I need to do and just check them off one by one. Rather than just doing whatever presents itself for me, I'm trying to be responsible, to put first things first, to really show up for my responsibilities and the challenges of life instead of avoiding them. Question 3, what good works might I be tempted to take credit for? I think this is a constant temptation for me, especially given some of the work we do, Steve. When we're recording podcasts or making videos or leading retreats, it's easy for me to feel like I'm somehow the one that's so great. When people hear me talk or tell me about how some video or podcast really had an impact on them, it's really a temptation for me to take credit for it. I think there's definitely something to be said about accepting the gifts and strengths that God has given us. But I also think that what needs to happen first is that we need to accept that God has given us these gifts and He wants us to use them for His good, not ours. So often I want to point back to myself and to my intelligence and my skills and take credit for the good work done. But the reality is that God gave me those gifts and He is using my gifts and talents to draw people back to Himself. So if I'm taking credit for that, if I'm somehow making it about how awesome I am, well, that needs to be repented of. So please, everyone who has been offended by my pride or touched by it without even knowing it, please forgive this miserable sinner. All right, Steve, Christ is risen, but that's all I got. I'll see you on Monday.